Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Allie Burns from Picks Parlays. Welcome to the Primetime Prop Drop. It's NFL Thursday Night Football. We got the Jags at the Jets, and I've got Scott Reichel here with me to give us 4 player or game props for the big primetime game tonight. Scott Reichel over at Reichel Radio. How's it going, friend?
Doing pretty well. Looking forward to cashing some bets tonight. The game itself, maybe not the most exciting, but we'll try to work it to our advantage.
Yes, we will try to make it happen for you guys. At least you'll have some player props to be rooting for, right? So at least
Yep.
we have that going on. Scott, you do tons of free picks all day long. Tell the people where they can find more of you and what it's all about.
So you can find me on Twitter at Rice Show Radio, where I link everything. But on YouTube, I do the free picks every night with winners and whiners. Besides that, doing podcasts almost every day with free picks there. And we also just did the college football show for the next week, where we broke down the next 13 bowl games until next Wednesday. So we broke down those games. It was Steen Allowed and myself. So if you want some thoughts on the upcoming college football action, check out that video, I believe, on the Winners and Whiners page, but also another bonus 13 games right there.
Beautiful. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's going to be a fun little bowl season we're about to go through. There's a lot of games I'm really excited about. Before we get going, guys, also hit the like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and don't forget to check out my official sponsor, Caesars Sportsbook. It's up to $1,250 in a risk-free first bet for all new accounts when you download the app and use my promo code Woodfull. All right, Jags and the Jets, Reichel. First quarter, let's kick it off.
Yeah, so this one's a bit juicy, but I think it actually should be even higher. It's at minus 150 for the first quarter, under 7.5. You have Zach Wilson taking on either an injured Trevor Lawrence or CJ Beathard. So both teams have quarterback issues. Jaguars also really, really hurt on the offensive line, potentially missing 3 starting offensive linemen. So I'm not exactly sold on the pass protection there. Plus, the weather's going to be horrible. Cold and rainy, I can confirm since I live in New York. But it's about 15-mile-per-hour winds, and the weather is really bad. So I do expect to see a very ugly game, especially at the start, with both coaches maybe trying to be conservative, run the ball, and get accustomed to the weather. But both teams also not great in terms of first quarter points per game. Jaguars rank 15th. Jets rank tied for 28th. I don't see much happening in the first 15 minutes at least. I'll go with the first quarter under 7.5.
All right, let's rock and roll. Talk to me about this guy.
So I'm going to go with Jamal Agnew, over 8.5 receiving yards at minus 120. Very small number. I get he's not used that much in pass catching roles, but he has been used more recently. He's had at least 12 receiving yards in 3 of the last 4 games. He also had 64 all purpose yards last week, including rushing yards. So he might see a boost in actual usage in this game. And he's been targeted at least 3 times in 4 of the last 5 games. If you're targeted 3 times or so and you need 9 yards, I'll take my chances. You could
Yeah.
just get there on 1 reception, but 8.5 for a guy who's gotten that many targets in 4 of the last 5 games, I think is a pretty solid deal. I'll take the over.
All right, talk to me about CJ.
So I'm going to go with CJ Uzama, over 8.5 receiving yards at minus 113. He's been mostly an afterthought in this offense, but he has been better lately. He's had at least 17 receiving yards in 3 of the last 4 games. And Zach Wilson, of course, started last week, and he had some chemistry with Uzama, who had 2 touchdown catches and 40-plus yards. And Jacksonville defensively against tight ends, really not great this season. In 15 games this season, Jacksonville has allowed at least 14 receiving yards to tight ends 18 times. So including backup tight ends, they've given up a lot of receiving yards. 8.5 once again, 1 reception might get you there. Weather's going to be bad, so I do expect to see more short passes to tight ends potentially, but this number's too low. I'll take the over.
Okay, let's go to our kicking prop. We have success with these in the past. What are we doing here?
So I'm going to go with Jacksonville kicker Riley Patterson over 1.5 field goals at minus 105. It is windy, but it's mostly in one direction. So one direction shouldn't really be that impacted by it. But either way, you look at his recent games and he has attempted a lot of field goals. He's made at least 2 field goals in each of the last 4 games. And the Jets are allowing 2.2 field goal attempts per game, which is tied for the most in the league. He's been reliable. It's bad weather. So you can argue Jacksonville might be conservative and take points when they can get it, because they don't exactly trust the Jets to score much with Zach Wilson. But 1.5 for a guy that's been very solid recently kicking the ball, I think it's a little bit too low. I'll take the over.
All right, beautiful. That is your NFL primetime prop drop for this Thursday night football. I'm Allie Burns. You can find me at Plus Money Honey. Don't forget to check out Reichel and all of his free picks over at Reichel Radio. Good luck tonight, everybody. Let's make that cash.